Eggshells are one of the cheapest and most effective sources of calcium. And when I recently posted a reel on my Instagram of an orange chocolate cake and included the entire egg, shell and all, in the recipe, tons of my followers literally freaked out. Some were supportive, but many were just confused and grossed out. So today I'm going to talk all about the benefits of eating eggshells for bone health. But beyond bone health, eggshells hold an array of benefits for anyone and everyone. It's also one of the cheapest ways to get in vitamins and minerals that are bioavailable. You can make your own eggshell supplements at home or buy pre-made eggshell powder. Or, of course, add the entire egg into a blender when making a recipe like I did on Instagram. So listen till the very end because I'm sharing all about eggshell powder supplements you can buy, the right ones, as well as ways to prepare them at home. And of course, why you want to start incorporating them into your diet. You guys are listening to the Digest This podcast, and I'm your host, Bethany Cameron. Let's get right into the episode. CBD has been clinically shown to encourage balanced gut health and immune function and can help ease discomfort associated with digestive problems. In fact, a study in the NIH notes that one promising effect of internal CBD use is, and I quote, the activation of cannabinoid receptors in the gut, which not only suppresses many of the IBD-related symptoms such as diarrhea and visceral hypersensitivity, but also inhibits the inflammatory reaction, end quote. Additional studies share that CBD can inhibit inflammation, aid in patients with IBD, modulate intestinal barrier functions, help decrease intestinal secretions, as well as help with headaches. So you may or may not know this, but I have certainly tried and tested my fair share of CBD products dating all the way back to 2017, long before CBD was even talked about. And it was one of the natural remedies my holistic doctor encouraged me to take while I was going through my severe gut issues. And till this day, I still keep CBD in my bag of tricks for gut health and to help keep inflammation at bay. So how do you choose the right CBD for gut health? Because, well, in this dynamic world of CBD, knowing which product and type to choose can be a little overwhelming. However, the form and spectrum of CBD can significantly influence its benefits, especially when it comes to digestive health. CB Distillery is a company I have grown to love for their full transparency, USA-grown hemp that is rigorously tested, and I just love that they display the most recent third-party tests on their website for anyone to view. They are not ashamed to share their results with nothing to hide. I personally recommend trying their distilled full spectrum CBD tincture, which contains just 2 simple ingredients, coconut MCT oil as the carrier and their full spectrum extract. That is it. CB Distillery also offers a 60-day money-back guarantee, which means you can use and try their CBD for a full 2 months. And if for whatever reason you're not satisfied, they will give you your money back. Guys, this is like a no-brainer. And on top of that, they offer my listeners a whopping 25% off your entire order. Just use code DIGEST at checkout to get 25% off and try it risk-free for 60 days. Go to thecbdistillery.com and use code DIGEST. That's THECBDISTILLERY.com and use code DIGEST. I'll also include that link in today's show notes so you can simply just go there with one easy tap. And speaking from experience, when your gut is inflamed, there's pretty much nothing you won't try. I hope you guys love it just as much as I do. If you use a dishwasher, then listen up. There was a fairly new study published in the Journal of Allergy and Clinical Immunology that discovered commercial dishwashers and rinse agents can negatively affect gut health. According to the study, the residue from rinse agents is often left behind on dishes after they are cleaned in dishwashers. This residue damages the natural protective layer in the gut that can contribute to the onset of chronic diseases and have been linked to colon inflammation and microbiota disruption. I was shocked when I read this and quite disturbed, to be honest. I mean, here we are doing all the things to help rebuild and protect our gut and gut lining, and we are being bombarded daily by those little tablets we use to clean our dishes on the daily. So if you haven't ditched your dishwasher tablets, now is the time. Thankfully, you don't have to ditch your dishwasher and start washing everything by hand because Branch Basics has a non-toxic dishwasher tablet you can use instead. I started using them over a year ago and love the convenience of a dishwasher tablet that is free from gut-disrupting harmful ingredients. Branch Basics dishwasher tablets are plant and mineral-based, fragrance-free, biodegradable, and they get the job done. So if you want to clean up your home and your health by using Branch Basics, they're offering my listeners 15% off. Just use code LITTLESIPPER at checkout to receive a discount. I recommend starting with, obviously, their dishwasher pods. They also have a starter kit to clean all the things in your home, not just your dishes. So just go check them out. Again, you can go to branchbasics.com and enter code LITTLESIPPER at checkout. That's LILSIPPER at checkout to receive a discount. So getting enough dietary calcium may be easy for some people. However, many do not meet their daily requirements because of restrictive diets, low food intake, budget, or a simple food shortage. For these people, cheap sources of calcium like eggshells may prove useful, especially if you can't have dairy or follow a paleo, Whole30, or other limited diet due to digestive issues or food sensitivities. Using eggshells is also an excellent way to reduce your kitchen waste. So let's explore the benefits of eggshell supplementation and if there are any risks involved. First of all, what is an eggshell? So I'm pretty sure you all know what an eggshell is. It is the hard outer covering of an egg, which consists mostly of calcium carbonate. The rest is made up of protein and other minerals. Consuming eggshells is actually not new, and for decades, eggshell powder processed from hen eggs has been used as a natural calcium supplement. Just half an eggshell may provide enough calcium to meet the daily requirements for adults, which is about 1,000 milligrams per day. So you don't need to consume a lot. As just mentioned, eggshells consist of calcium carbonate, which is the most common form of calcium in nature, making up seashells, coral reefs, and limestone. It is also the cheapest and most widely available form of calcium in supplements. Studies have confirmed that the calcium in eggshells are absorbed as effectively as pure calcium carbonate. Some even suggest its absorption is better than that of purified calcium carbonate supplements. And there was a study in isolated cells. They found that calcium absorption was up to 64% greater from eggshell powder compared to pure calcium carbonate. Researchers attributed these effects to the certain proteins found in eggshells. In addition to calcium and protein, eggshells also contain small amounts of other minerals, including magnesium and selenium. These additional minerals also may play a role in bone health. So when you get the combination that eggshells provide, it makes for nature's ultimate calcium boost. One study in postmenopausal women with osteoporosis found that taking eggshell powder along with vitamin D and magnesium significantly strengthened their bones by improving bone mineral density. There was also a study in Dutch where postmenopausal women found that eggshell powder improved bone mineral density in the neck compared to a placebo. And interestingly, purified calcium carbonate did not significantly improve it. Now, I want to briefly talk about the eggshell membrane. So, the membrane is located between the eggshell and the egg white. So, have you guys ever hard-boiled an egg, and when you go to peel the egg, there's that thin paper-like membrane between the shell and the actual egg? So, that's the membrane. And while technically not part of the eggshell, it is usually attached to it. So, if and when making eggshell powder at home, there is no need for you to remove that part. You can just simply include it. Eggshell membrane mainly consists of protein in the form of collagen. It also contains small amounts of glucosamine and other nutrients. However, I do want to point out that the trace amounts of these beneficial compounds in eggshell membranes are unlikely to have any significant effects on your health. However, there are some studies showing that regular intake of eggshell membrane, specifically these eggshell membrane supplements, may benefit your joints. So, if you're making your own powder from scratch at home, which we'll get into how to do that in just a second, you might as well just include the membrane. There's really no downside. Now, are there any risks of eating eggshells? So we'll get into this right now. So when you prepare correctly, eggshell powder is considered safe. There are just a few things you need to keep in mind. First, do not attempt to swallow large fragments of eggshell, as they might injure your throat, esophagus, and even your digestive tract. So always make sure they are ground or blended very well. Second, I know a lot of people are concerned that eggshells may be contaminated with bacteria such as salmonella. To avoid risk of food poisoning, you simply wash the outside of the egg really well and make sure to boil eggs before making the eggshell powder. If you are adding an entire egg, including the shell, to a recipe like I did on Instagram, just be sure they are washed and blended very well into the recipe or batter. And since you will be baking the bread, cake, or cookies they are incorporated in, there's no need to pre-cook them prior to baking them since they're going to be baked in the batter. Okay, so how do you make the actual powder if you want to keep and use as a supplement? So to make it at home, you would first wash and hard boil the eggs, peel the shells, then place them on a baking sheet and bake in the oven at a low temp for a few hours just to dry out any excess moisture they may have from the hard-boiled eggs. Then, using a pestle and mortar, you just finely grind it into a powder. I've also heard of others using a rolling pin. So if that works for you, if you don't have one of those crushers, you can just use a rolling pin. Again, just be sure to grind the eggshells into a very fine powder or very, very small fragments before eating them. Okay, so now how do you consume the powder once you've made it? It's really easy just to add it to anything, really. You can add it to dips like guacamole or hummus, soups, smoothies, mashed potatoes, yogurt, or simply mix it with water or juice. If you don't want the hassle to make your own at home, you can get eggshell powder online. Just be sure it's from a reputable brand and there are no extra ingredients or fillers within the powder. And as always, if you can find an organic option, all the better. I will put a link in today's show notes to the one I personally have, so you can check that out. Just go to today's show notes and I'll include that there. I just got it from Amazon and it's one to certainly add to your cart. And as always, it's always best to talk to your healthcare provider whenever you start to incorporate additional supplements to your regimen. I hope you enjoyed this week's Bite of Knowledge and it piqued your interest in consuming eggshells. And I always encourage you to just do your own research and look into it more. That is my goal, is to encourage you and give you the tools to really be your own advocate and start researching things and thinking for yourself and just kind of piquing someone's interest and just opening the doorway so that you can really explore more. So I hope I did that for you today. And as always, if you did enjoy this, please do give it a 5-star rating and review and share this podcast with the first person that comes to your mind. By doing this is just a free way to support, and it just takes 5 seconds. So it's always appreciated. See you guys this Wednesday. Thanks for listening to this episode of Digest This. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave a review in your podcast app to let us know. If you're ever wondering how you can support me and this podcast, sharing it with your friends and family is the best way. This is a Resonant Media production produced by Drake Peterson and edited by Mike Fry. To email the show, message us at digestthispod@gmail.com. See you next time. The content of this show is for educational and informational purposes only. It is not a substitute for individual medical and mental health advice and does not constitute a provider-patient relationship. As always, talk to your doctor or health team first.